Last night, Israel hit more than 100 loaded Hezbollah launchers across Lebanon. In the last hour, more than 150 rockets and missiles have been fired by Hezbollah at Israel. I'll keep you posted throughout my program as to developments there. I'm now happy to welcome Rob Bresnahan to the program. He is running for Congress in Pennsylvania's 8th Congressional District, which the Hugh Show blankets. Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Good morning, Hugh. Thanks for having me back.
Your website is rob4pa, R-O-B, the number 4pa.com, rob4pa.com. Rob, explain to people
Hugh,
where...
That's our social media handles. It's robforpa.com. Rob4pa is the social.
I'm glad you could... robforpa.com, because I want people to make donations to Rob, because this district is expensive and it's close. Where is the district? Tell listeners, Rob, where it is.
So we include Scranton, Pennsylvania. So our district includes Luzerne County, Lackawanna County, Wayne County, Pike County, and most of Monroe County, half of Luzerne County, from the Hazleton area to Harvey's Lake, and then pretty much everything east. But I do feel that this district will determine if, when I win Pennsylvania 8, Donald Trump will win Pennsylvania, then Pennsylvania will put him back into the White House. And if you think about all the different districts in the United States, there are only 5 congressional districts that the Democrat has survived 2 Trump elections. Donald Trump won this district in 2016 by just under 8%. And in 2020, he won it just under 4%. We have the president up by about 5.5% right now. And
there you go.
He has right now, at the end of August, the highest approval ratings at 53% that he has ever had.
I think the vice president is dropping like a rock, and Oprah is going to help her. Let me ask you something, Rob. I'm on in Scranton thanks to Vince Benedetto and Bold Gold Media, so everyone driving in their car, go and vote early. How is your early voting effort for Rob for Congress?
So first off, I have to always give Vince Benedetto a shout out. Good luck with this event tonight. Bold Gold Media has a great event later on tonight honoring Chris Hackett. So if they are listening, congratulations. Wish you could be there. We do have an event in Hazleton. But actually, Luzerne County, since 2016, the Democrat to Republican advantage was over 30,000. We are now within 250 votes away from flipping Democrat to Republican in Luzerne County. And I feel by the end of next week, it will be a Republican county.
That's extraordinary. Selena Zito has been telling me this, and I was unaware of it. I hope they also register and vote early. I want to really dial in on early voting. Donald Trump told everyone vote early in Pennsylvania. Are your team already, have they already voted? Your people who work for you?
Actually, voting started 2 days ago now within our district, and ballots are anticipating to go out the first week of October. But I'll tell you, we saw in 2022 some apprehension on the mail-in ballot initiatives or the early vote initiatives, but there has been a unified force for people to bank the vote by mail. If there's that 1% probability you may not make it out to the polls on election day, we call it the blue-collar ballot. I referenced my grandfather, who's 89 years old, who's having some health issues. He physically can't get out to the poll. We do not want to alienate or vilify people that physically can't get out. We want people to vote, and the movement from moderate Republicans to our patriot groups, there has been a united front to get people to register by mail and change party affiliation. So the movement, the grassroots initiative has been incredible.
Yeah, Rob, I've been voting since 1974. I'm that old. And I have not missed voting except once in 1986, when 2 days before the election, I got sent by the Department of Justice and OPM to lead a voting rights observation team in Mississippi. And so I just hadn't filed an absentee. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. That's why you got to get an absentee or vote early as you can. Let's talk about money, Rob. robforpa.com, robforpa.com for a small dollar donation, or up to 2,000, whatever the limit is. I don't know what the limit is. They can do it online. How much is it?
3,300.
3,300
is the federal limits.
So you can do 3,300. Your wife can do 3,300. You can encourage your children to do 3,300. Rob, or $33. I don't care. How is the money in the campaign?
Listen, we are fighting a good fight with what we have. I personally contributed the first bucket of resources to make sure we were well tooled so we can assemble the right team and we can go into a general election message from day one. It's $95,000 a week for a candidate to be on TV, and those are candidate rates. And I'm going against the machine, the Democrat machine. My opponent was just busted out in Los Angeles earlier in the week, panhandling for cash from some far left billionaires. Uh, it seems like their supplies are endless. And let me tell you something about their messaging. We are the first candidate and only candidate as of right now to get an attack ad pulled against me because it is a blatant lie. We actually filed
Oh,
suit against House Majority. We notified the local stations that they're lying. I mean, I opened up my mailbox yesterday. Apparently, I'm against IVF, and I said to my fiance Chelsea, I said, "What? Where did this come from?" I mean, they are literally lying through their teeth, and they're all bank shots because of people who have endorsed me. It automatically assumes that I'm going to vote a certain way. I'm going to vote for Northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm going to vote for my conscience. I'm not owned or beholden by anyone, but they are willing to say and do anything to try to beat me. So we need the help. Rob4pa.com. Help us spread our message. And our polls are neck and neck. We're within the margin of error. I mean, I've never had someone spend over $1 million a week kicking my teeth in on just blatant misinformation. But they're worried because we can beat them.
I'm glad you don't have children yet because when you do, I've heard from candidates, the hardest thing is when kids see the lies on TV. RobForpa.com, RobForpa.com, and voting has begun in Pennsylvania. Last question, Rob. I don't know how many supporters of Israel are in your district, but Israel's on the brink of another war in Lebanon or another front in Lebanon. What is your position on supporting Israel, and what's your opponent's position?
We've been steadfast on our support for Israel. October 7th is right around the corner. I still can't believe we don't have hostages that have yet to be released, specifically American hostages. We've always been an ally of Israel. We've been endorsed by the Republican Jewish coalition. Israel needs to defend themselves. We need to give the IDF the resources that they need to be able to carry out their mission and stop a legitimate terrorist organization. I mean, they are out of control. And so we've been steadfast since day one supporting them, and every day we see more and more terror taking place. Innocent lives are being taken, and it's not fair, and it needs to end.
Rob for Pennsylvania, Rob4pa.com. Rob Bresnahan, thank you for joining me. Come back again during the election as we get closer, probably a third hour appearance. Have a great event tonight in Lucerne and keep that registration effort underway and the early voting effort. Rob Bresnahan, going to be a great new member of Congress from Northeast Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania 8. Rob Bresnahan can be reached on social media at Rob, the number 4PA. But if you want to help him, $10 to 3,300. Rob for PA and spell out the 4, FOR. Rob4pa.com.